Welcome, STMA cabinet makers. This video is going to show you how to build two more parts called the picture frame and the shelf. But first of all, I want to get you familiar with the plans right here. And so the plans that we have, I've provided on the Google Classroom. Start with page 1, which is just kind of an overview of the project. It has a, isometric here as well as the orthographic. Notice there are no numbers because the numbers show up on page 2. You should have completed the video where we drew the two sides, and you probably used this part of the plans right here, and you probably used those numbers. This next video is going to show how to make the picture frame and shelf. Where and what do the picture frame and the shelf do? Well, let's go ahead and take a look here at a quick assembly. And right here, this is what I call the picture frame right there. It's just a simple Mr. Bovee term. It's not a professional cabinet term. And this is the bottom shelf right here. Okay, so those are the two parts we're going to make today. Whoops. And they help get us constructing the cabinet. So this is the exact steps that we do when we build a cabinet. We start with the sides first, and then we build this shelf, and we build the picture frame. And then we glue them together. We make an assembly. So that's what we're going to do today in this video. All right, we're going to replicate real life. I'm going to go ahead and open up a file called Sample Drawings right here, and that's where I'm going to build this drawing. I already have it drawn, but we're going to create a new drawing by going to Insert a New Element, Create Part Studio, and we're going to call this, we're going to rename this, and we'll, whoops, oh, dang it anyway. We're going to close out of that and go back here, and we're going to rename that Shelf. All right. Now, if we go back and look at our plans, which I'm not going to because we're going to try to make this a quick video. But if I go back and look at our plans, that rectangle was 15.25 by 11 and 3.375, which is 3/8. When choosing a sketch plane, I like to choose the sketch plane that best represents how the part is going to fit into the assembly. It really doesn't matter what sketch plane you've chosen, but it does make your assembly a little bit easier if you choose the one that best represents how it's going to be sitting in there. So this shelf is going to lay flat, similar to the top. And so I'm going to choose the top plane right here. And the bottom shelf is a rectangle of 15.25 by 11.375 or 3/8. All right, so there is our shelf, and all the parts that we're going to be drawing today are plywood, which is 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to go ahead and extrude that to 3/4 of an inch. All right, and just for fun, I'm going to go ahead and edit the appearance of this. If I right click on this, choose edit appearance for part 1, I can choose any color that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that color. And there we go. So that's my shelf. Now I need to make a picture frame, a long and a short picture frame. So let's go ahead and show you again. I'm sorry. Here's the piece I just drew, 15.25 by 11 and 3/8. And here are two more pieces. I got to make a long PF and a short PF. Now the long PF is 15.25, and its width is 2.5. And the short PF is 6 3/8, and it's also 2.5. So the purpose here is to draw a picture frame that is build a picture frame that is exact same size of this bottom shelf. All right, let's go back and do that. So here we are in the folder for sample drawings. We're going to create Part Studio, and we're going to go to a long picture frame, choosing the top there, and we are going to create a sketch on the top sketch plane and draw a rectangle. That first rectangle, which is the long picture frame, is 15.25, and the width of it is 2.5. We're going to extrude that to 3/4 of an inch, and I know we're going fast, but that's okay. Bam. And I like to choose another color just because when we assemble it, it looks different. So we're going to go ahead and make that color right there. And then we will call this, and this is important to call it this name because it's just let's see here, that's a long PF. Because when it comes to the assembly part, that you might, it'll be easier to find. Now I could go through all of those processes again, or I could simply go to duplicate, and I will rename this the short PF. PF is for picture frame. And now I want to make sure I'm on that tab, because when you do that, it stays on this long tab. I don't know why it does that, but anyway. And by duplicating it saves me maybe a little bit of time. I don't know if it does or doesn't, but if you're fluent in drawing a rectangle and extruding it, then maybe it doesn't save you any time. But I just want to try to show you as many tricks as I can. So here we go, 6 3/8 by 2.5. And we saved all of those steps. The only thing I want to do now is change the appearance to something slightly different. And there we go. Okay, so I've drawn my shelf, my long picture frame piece, and my short picture frame piece. So let's go ahead and begin our assembly. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go back to this main page right here. You've already watched the organization and tips video on how to organize all your parts down here. All right, I'm going to go down here and create a new assembly. We'll call it a sample assembly. Let's go to create assembly, and it's going to show up over here. I'm just going to leave it there, but let's rename it to sample assembly. You would name it main assembly or whatever you want to name it. All right, so this is the beginning of our assembly process. We're going to go and insert the sides. This is why you want to name things correctly here. So we're going to go left side, and then there's going to be a right side. And notice that if I just click on it and it says inserted to, now I'm going to come over here and yeah, see, it had it hiding in there. So everything you click on here will it will show. I could have clicked on shelf. There we go, shelf. And the reason I have two of them here is because I got a sample one and I got the real one. And you know what I did? I put in two left sides. You probably saw that and I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead. We'll put in a right side. And that is going to be a little better right there. So we're going to delete this one. And come on. Well, let's go like this. We'll approve of it, and then we'll see if we can delete it. Right click, delete part 1. We'll do it that way. All right, notice I didn't put the picture frame in there because I want to show you this trick. We're going to go back to sample drawings, and we're going to create an assembly here, and we're going to do just the picture frame, okay? So we're going to go to insert, and we're going to choose long PF1. I need two of them, so I'm going to click on it again. See, it says right there, inserted 2. And then I'm going to go to short picture frame, 1, 2. All right, just saves you a few clicks by doing that. And then it slaps them all together. And I like to move them apart. There we go. All right, now I can see them. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and we are going to assemble this real fast. We're going to use this corner right here, and we'll use that corner right there. And let's see what we can do. There we go. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and anchor one of these down by choosing Fix. Right click and Fix. Oh, let's see here. I'm going to keep on keeping on with my fastening here. We're going to go right there and there. That looks good. And then I'm going to take this piece, put it right there and right there. And, oh, yeah, Mr. Bowie, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. So let's go ahead here. And we'll take this piece right here. Come on, right there. And we'll go right there. All right. See, even the greatest make mistakes. Okay, there we go. There's our picture frame. Let me go ahead and close my door here so you don't get the shop noise. All right, sorry about that interruption. All right, we're going to rename this the sample picture frame. Okay, now let's go back to our sample assembly where we left off here. So instead of bringing in all four of those pieces and then trying to assemble it, I can go ahead and insert that assembly and it's going to behave as one piece. And here it is, sample picture frame. It just hasn't generated a preview yet, but we'll bring that in. And it's going to save us a little time. You can do the same thing with the other pieces like a drawer and, as you can see here, drawer and also a face frame. So let's go ahead and approve of that and let's start our assembly. I like to work from the front side here, and I think our corners are just a little bit easier to grab. So we'll go like this, and I'll use this front plane. We'll put it right there. We'll take, oh, you know what? Oh, I should have grabbed that middle piece right there, but oh well. We'll do that on the next one maybe. And then we'll grab that corner right there. And there is our shelf installed. And I'm going to go ahead and click fix this shelf. We're going to anchor that down so that everything moves to it. So now I'm going to go ahead, and this is the front of this piece. So we'll hover over this plane, and I'm going to choose the middle piece. And hover over that. Probably the hardest thing about Onshape is getting the assembly figured out. All right, and all the different visualizations you got to do to get it to work. So there, those four positions don't work. We'll flip the primary axes, and now it works. So there we go. And now, let's see here. All we got to do is put this piece in. So let's go ahead and choose that one. And that one. And again, it's only moving the one piece, but don't worry, let's get that piece in correctly. There we go, that looks like it's in the right spot. And then we hit solve, and it will move the rest of the pieces. And so there we have it. That's the end of our video for today, kids. We've got our assembly made of our picture frame and our shelf. And this is exactly the way we'll do it in real life. You're going to make your two sides, and then you're going to cut your shelf and make your picture frame to the exact same size as this shelf, and then you'll glue it up and you'll have your assembly starting. The next video is going to show you how to build the drawer guts in here. All of those little drawer guts or drawer guides or whatever you want to call them, okay? So, all right, we'll see you at the next video.